who approved of Kagan for Solicitor General just last year say she shouldn't expect a free pass to confirmation to the Supreme Court. Joining us now, Senator Orrin Hatch, senior member of the Judiciary Committee, a Republican, one who voted for Kagan in her nomination to Solicitor General. So I'll ask you, Senator, I assume you haven't made up your mind, but are you inclined to vote for her again, or does the analysis change because now we're talking about a lifetime appointment?
Yeah, it's too early to tell. This is a lifetime appointment, and that's what the difference is. You know, there are a lot of good things about Elena Kagan, and there are some things where questions have to be asked. My mind's not made up on this by any measure, and I'm going to sit there and certainly try and give her a fair and impartial hearing. But a lot's going to depend on how she answers the questions, and a lot's going to depend on whether she's going to be fair and impartial when she gets to the court, rather than become, you know, somebody who's partisan and there for a particular agenda.
You know, in your career, it was very surprising, considering your career in the Senate, when you voted against Justice Sotomayor. I believe it was the first confirmed Supreme Court justice that you had voted against in your time in the Senate. What advice would you give Elena Kagan to not do that Sonia Sotomayor did, so that she can earn your vote?
Well, I anguished over that, but the number one advice I'd give to Elena Kagan is tell the truth. No matter how much it hurts, just tell the truth. People will respect you for it. Well, and number two, I think that she's got to convince us that she'll be fair, impartial, and honest on the court.
Senator,
number three, she's going to have to.
Are you suggesting you feel like Sotomayor was not truthful or candid with you?
She's on the court. I'm not going to get into that at this time, but I have to say I was disappointed in some of her answers, knowing what I knew. And that bothered me a great deal. Like I say, I still anguished over voting against her, but in the end, I decided to do that. I hope she proves me wrong. It would make my day, and make my whole tenure here, if she'd just prove me wrong. But so far, I haven't seen that.
Let's clear up one thing. It sounds like you want to hear more about where she stands on issues and ideology. Some of your Republican colleagues have suggested she doesn't have the qualifications or the resume to be confirmed. What's your position on that discrete issue?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, frankly, I think she has. She probably has the qualifications, because in the sense that she certainly is a very intelligent woman. Has served both in the public and private sectors, was dean of one of the great law schools in this country, certainly somebody who understands the law. The question is, does she have the qualifications that are necessary for the Supreme Court? That's a question that has to be answered through a thorough, fair, complete examination, and that's why we have these confirmation hearings, is to go into these type of matters. And frankly, this is one of the most important positions in our country. There are only 9 Supreme Court justices. We ought to scrutinize these justices in a very intelligent and fair and thoughtful way. And I think she understands that, and I think is happy to submit herself to that type of a thorough examination.
Senator, before we go, I got to ask you about what just happened to your colleague in Utah. If you were running for re-election this year, could you survive, given the political climate in Utah's Republican Party right now?
Well, we're different people, and I felt very badly for Senator Bennett, because he's a fine senator with great ability, and would have become the Republican leader on the Banking Committee within a couple of years, and was high up on the Appropriations Committee. Those are things that take years and years and years to do. Fortunately, the two that are left to run off in a primary are both excellent individuals, but they're going to be starting all over again. But they're excellent. Either one of them would make a good senator, and I have to live with whatever the population says. Now, if I had been up this year, it would have been very difficult for anybody this year. People are mad, and they're justly mad. I mean, this country is being run right into the ground. We're going to be $20 trillion, $300 billion in national debt by 2020, and that's according to the president's own actuaries. A $900 billion deficit, well, $1.3 trillion deficit that year, according to their actuaries, $900 billion of which will be interest against the national debt. I mean, that's got to scare anybody to death, and these are things that are real issues.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Senator Hatch, we got to leave it there, but before we let you go, trivia time. Which senator has written songs that were recorded by Gladys Knight? Who is it, Senator?
Well, I know him really well. and he's a great songwriter. No, Gladys Knight's a wonderful, wonderful singer, and I was happy that she sang 2 of my songs.
Well, that's pretty fun. Good for you, Senator Hatch, and thanks for coming on and sharing your views. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you.
All right, the attempted Times Square bombing triggers new debate.